How many days a week should you train in martial arts? That's an excellent question, and there's not a cookie cutter answer for that. So, the number of days you train in a week depends on so many different factors. If you're younger, if you're like teens, 20s, 30s, there are quite a few people that'll just go all in and train 5, 6, 7 days a week, even for multiple hours. And they can kind of do that because they're younger, they may have more free time available, they don't have as many family obligations, or they're possibly single, so all of those things, being younger, having more energy and endurance, and not having as many life commitments, may make it able for people in that group to train more, which that's good. Now, if you're a bit older, if you have a family, if you have a demanding job, there's a lot of different scenarios where it just won't be feasible for you to train that much. Maybe you can only fit in 2 days a week and, do that if you can. Maybe you can only do one. Now, I do think one, almost no matter what type of martial art you're taking, 1 day a week is pretty low, especially if you're just starting out with that art. You're going to see your progress just barely inch along if you're only going once a week. So ideally, I'd recommend at least 2 days a week, even when you're starting. And more is generally better, although you can have too much. If you're going 7 days a week, multiple hours, that might not be good for you. That might not be good for your health. You might burn yourself out. It also might mean that you're avoiding other obligations in your life. So that is something you want to look at if you're training that much. But overall, it's quite good to, I would say, have at least 2 days a week. See if you can manage that. 3, 4, or 5 is probably better, but you also may not have that option depending on the dojo that you train at or the gym that you train at. There's a lot of gyms that are pretty small. They only offer a few classes a week. And so going 3 days a week, that might be the maximum amount of classes they offer. So in that case, it's out of your control. You got to try to do those 3 days a week. So anyway, those are just some thoughts on how many days a week you should train. And it's going to vary. It's going to vary on the amount of free time you have. It's going to vary based on your stamina and your general life commitments and the availability of classes at your gym or dojo. So just try to do the best that you can, but typically at least 2 days a week I think would be quite good. And ideally 3 or 4, but still depends on those other factors. So just do your best.